Right, let's go then to local issues, and particularly down in the south of the county, because on the line now is Labour Senator Mark Wall. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Owen. Before
we talk about the pre-Oireachtas think-in in Wexford from the Labour Party and a proposal that you launched, I just want to reference a tweet that you put up regarding the school transport issue in the south of the county, Mark. Is that still an issue? Are you still hearing reports from parents around the Athy area not having places for their children on school buses?
It's a huge issue, Owen. I got very worrying messages over the weekend, Owen, that parents were advising me of neighbours of theirs whose children had actually finished school and they were still getting tickets. So this is an issue that's continuing on. I still have a lot of parents who haven't had tickets for their loved ones going back to school, and they're in a serious way. I've had parents coming to me to say that they've had it in their notice for work over the last couple of days on. So this unfortunately is still going on. I've listed for a commencement matter in the Shannon on Wednesday this week. I'm hoping that it will be allowed and the Minister will come in to debate this, because it's still very much a huge issue for people here in South Kildare, right across the bottom of the county and right up as far as Kilmeague. I'm getting messages all the way up, and even at this stage, Owen, there are messages coming in from other counties, such as the need for tickets for people at this stage. It really is a problem and needs to be addressed quickly. We need more buses on the routes.
On a similar issue then, in terms of transport, you launched the Labour Party's proposal for a Kildare climate ticket as part of the Labour Party's plan to tackle the cost of living crisis. You say it's time for a €9 Kildare climate ticket. Explain that to me.
Yeah, well, I suppose, Owen, this comes on the back of a number of conversations I've had on your programme over the last number of years in relation to the cost of transport, particularly from South Kildare, when you compare even rail prices from South Kildare to North Kildare. And basically what has happened here is that we've been watching what's happening in the rest of Europe, and in Germany they've launched this €9 ticket during the summer, and they've seen the benefits here from people using public transport, and they've also seen the benefits, obviously, from the climate crisis that we face. So we launched this on at our think-in in Wexford over the last number of days on. And we believe that the government need to get radical here, that we need to encourage more and more people onto public transport. We need to make sure that that's cost effective for them, and coming into the crisis that faces us in the winter with fuel prices, then public transport has got to be seen as a solution for the many commuters who travel to Dublin and can only travel to Dublin, unfortunately, because that's where the majority of work is for them. So that's why we're looking at a €9 ticket for Kildare, to have both benefits, to help hard-pressed commuters, but also to tackle climate and get people onto public transport.
So the way it would work then, Mark, is that you would pay this, what you're proposing is you'd pay a €9 flat fare, and that would give you access to the likes of trains, buses, etc.
It would, Owen, and one of the issues here was the lack of lead cards around Kildare. Like, you know, you can use it from North Kildare in to get the buses that needs to connect into the various workplaces of commuters, and this would be a one-off ticket that you would use for all public transport. It's, as I say, it's worked in another European country. We need to be radical. Government need to be radical. We're coming into the deep depths of winter, and we need to look at ensuring that those hard-pressed commuters are helped at their hour of need. And a €9 ticket is what we're proposing, and the government need to look at the cost of this. We've asked the Department of Transport for costing, and that will be, we'll have that this week, and we'll propose that through our own alternative budget. But based on what the German practice is, it looks like that may cost approximately about 150 for a 3 to 6 month period, 150 million that is, for a 3 to 6 month period. But again, we're waiting on those costings back from government, which we would hope to have this week.
Yeah, and as you're saying, you feel it would be a radical yet affordable move from the government that could make a real difference in reducing traffic congestion and reduce transport costs even further coming into the winter. Before we let you go, Mark, what else came from that Labour Party pre-Oireachtas think-in in Wexford? I referenced there the opinion poll in the Sunday Times yesterday. Labour Party dropping 2 points from 6% to 4%. Is there any concern within the party?
Well, look, Owen, we know we have a challenge ahead of us. We have a challenge here in Kildare South. We're working very hard in Kildare South. I'm about to go into an office of a full list of clients coming in today to talk about their problems. And there's so many problems there at the moment. I'm in Newbridge tonight for a clinic. We will present ourselves to the electorate of Kildare South, Owen, as we always did. And then, as I've always said as well, it'll be up to the electorate then whether they want to put a Labour Party candidate in the shape of Mark Wall into the next all. I hope to do, because there's so many challenges on at the moment. What we discussed down in Wexford is the cost of living crisis that we have at the moment, Owen. And we also looked at childcare. And I know that it was a huge issue for people in South Kildare, particularly around Newbridge, Kildare Town, a lot of places right down to the south of County Athy and Castledermot. And what we're proposing is to cap that at €200 per month on. It really is. Some of the cases that I'm dealing with at the moment, families are spending upwards of €1,000 on childcare, and that is not sustainable on. So that's something else we need to look at. Obviously, we need to look at capping the energy prices, and that came out of the EU on Friday, and we're waiting for detail on that. And then the other issue is in relation to the fuel allowance. This is something I deal with on a daily basis. You know, the issue in relation to the cap of 120 above the state pension is not sustainable. So many people have worked so hard for their lives for that private pension that is knocking them out of the system. That needs to increase, and we need to allow those people into the fuel allowance and allow them that few bob into their pockets that will make a difference. So these are the issues that we will be proposing over the next couple of days in our alternative budget, and I look forward maybe to discussing those with you over the next week or so.
Indeed. Thanks indeed to Labour Senator Mark Wall for taking our call this morning on those issues, but also launching the party's proposal for what's being called a €9 Kildare climate ticket, and be interesting to see what response the government give to that. Thanks indeed, Mark.